up, Flockers? We're back with another episode of Flockast, joined with Colin Long. What's going on, Colin?
Hey, Jake. Happy Sunday. How you doing on this fine day?
Not bad. It's pretty rainy spring day here in Columbus, Ohio. Been out running errands with my son, but other than that,
Nice. It's a beautiful day
how's
here in
your Sunday?
Richmond. Yeah, we went for a walk down at the park. This place, Cold Harbor. It's not Cold Harbor from Severance, if you watch, but it's a cool trail through the woods, and it's very there's plaques like maybe every 600, 700 feet, and you can learn how many soldiers died there during the war. It's just kind of interesting as you're having a nice walk. You're like, oh, this is quite a crazy place, but beautiful, beautiful park to walk in, though. Besides the crazy history of it, but yeah, nice day to get some air. Good to get outside. I feel like I've been cooped up
Yeah,
this winter way too much.
some Civil War history down in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, quite extensive. We stop and read a little bit here and there, but they were like 18,000 people died at this spot. I'm like, oh my god. All right. Yeah,
And now
history.
at the park.
And now it's a park. Yeah, at least we can remember it though. But yeah, great episode last episode with Ryan there. Glad he came on. That was a lot of fun. But I think we just talked about Colorado, and did we cover Utah at all?
I don't remember, but I do remember how fun Ryan was, and we're definitely going to have to bring him back on for another episode. But Pigeons have been bouncing around the whole West Coast. We got a couple shows that we can talk about. But yeah,
Yeah, they came in strong. I think, look, having not done a West Coast run in a little over a year, I feel like they had some time to make up for, and I think they definitely laid a trail of wreckage behind them after each show, because I think they kind of went through them on pretty hot, I'd say. Just a set list I've listened to and what I've been able to just kind of watch here from the set list postings. I don't know if there was a average show amongst them, I'd say. So what do you think?
I've honestly just been trying to keep up with all the soundboards as much as I can. And, no, I would say none of them are an average show. They've been playing in new venues across the West, some cool venues. I'd say that Sierra Nevada venue in Chico, the Big Room, is pretty cool. That's inside their brewery, I believe. But yeah,
Yeah,
got
not to overlook the Wiltern. I saw Trey Band there back in like early 2000s, dude. That's a really cool theater. They were opening for the String Cheese, right? Wait, String Cheese or Widespread? I don't know.
string cheese.
Yeah,
Those
okay,
3 days
that's
were
right.
all string cheese.
Yeah,
But
that's some
yeah,
bigger crowds I got to play to. That's cool for them to kind of get back out there and get in front of a bigger audience to play those 3 days from the Wiltern and Del Mar at the Sound. I gotta check that out. I don't know where that venue is.
no, I've never heard of it. I believe Greg was able to sit in with string cheese on the last night that they played with them.
Oh,
I
nice.
forget which I forget which song it was, but there's a video of it online if you guys want to check that out.
Yeah, I'll have to scope it out. But for an opening band, they only have one set per night, so really got to make it work. And at the Wiltern, I will say, opening with something for you. Again, going into what's becoming a fan favorite of My Own Way into Porcupine. That's a good way to kick open the show. Get the crowd warmed up.
I think so. And Tiffany mentioned to me the other day that My Own Way is starting to becoming one of her favorite songs as well. She's a Sunny Day is one of her favorite songs, and she's saying a depressing Pigeon song is always one of her favorite vibes, I guess. I was like, yeah, I guess so.
You're used to the high energy. One that brings it down a little bit is definitely a different vibe. But you could tell some of the newer music they've done that where they kind of, it's still Pigeons, but it's definitely at a different pace. I mean, even like Beneath the Surface, it's an epic the way that song unfolds, but like definitely dun 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 dun, dun, just a little different pace coming in. But I'm definitely here for it. What speaking of songs that are becoming favorites, I mean, Show Me has been growing on me a lot. At first I was like, okay, you didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, all right, it's good. But, now when I'm getting it on, I'm kind of turning it up versus maybe skipping ahead. So it's definitely got there for me.
I've definitely enjoyed it since its debut. Like I said, it's one of those songs that sounds like a little bit of a Red Hot Chili Peppers influence in there. So I'm always down with Pigeons playing some Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I believe that they did do some on this West Coast shore. West Coast. I think they did some "Suck My Kiss" encore. Yeah, in Portland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg loves his chili peppers, so any chance he can get out there and belt it out. And then taking the Poseidon one more time, little and I think they've been breaking out Daft Punk a fair amount these days. It's not been a rarity, I think, but I'm here for it. The Daft Side of the Moon were some of my favorite shows they've ever done. It was one of the most fun Halloween runs I've done. So anytime they mix that in is good. And then to close it out with an avalanche, definitely left the stage hot for String Cheese to come out next.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they weren't holding anything back for these. They knew that they had, and I feel like they're trying to, put on a good show for String Cheese themselves. Not
Yeah,
letting
look,
them
it
down.
helps everybody. A good opening act is the best way to set the stage for the night. I remember hearing back in the day, like certain comedians would bring terrible openers just so they would look better because they were funnier than the opener. And I'm like, oof, that's a rough strategy. I'm not that good, so I got to bring someone worse out. But when you're bringing the Pigeons ahead of you, I mean, they can hold the stage with any of these guys, which is great to see. So, yeah, and then from there they head up to over to Del Mar, which is actually south. I guess they didn't go up; they went down. I gotta see where the sound is.
Del Mar. Yeah, I'm not
I
anyway
used
familiar
to
with that.
live really close to this area, so I'm just trying to figure out where this is. Oh, is it like at the racetrack? Ah, okay, interesting. Cool outdoor venue though. It looks like so. Or is this indoor?
I think it was indoor.
Yeah, indoor. Okay. Oh, that's a good size too. Oh, that's cool. Nice.
I was able to
Move it.
see a couple stories from Chesney.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, showing because she did like the whole run and stuff, pretty much.
Yeah, that was yeah, I think she went all the way through to Seattle, I think. It's always fun watching the updates from people's Facebooks, right? You're like, "Oh, nice. All right, keep going. Love it."
Yeah, she was out there for her birthday and
Nice. Oh, happy birthday, Chesney.
definitely living it up.
Yeah, but night 2 at the Sound, or I guess night 1 at the Sound, Melting Lights Underworld, decent opener.
Note on that melting lights. Greg did do a 360 off the riser.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the inevitable 900 now. He's gonna do it. I can feel it.
Dude, I always think of the Nintendo 64 game 1080. 1080.
He's on fire. Different game, but that's still what I think of.
He's getting hot,
Yeah.
turning up, or whatever.
Yeah, Greg's got the hops. I always think it's cool when, there's certain photographers he works with that know him well, so they know when he's gonna jump, and they catch it just right. And it looks like I mean, it almost looks photoshopped how high in the air he really appears to be. Just the right angle, the jump, everything. It's yeah, Greg's got the hops, dude. I love when they catch that in a good shot.
Yeah, shout out Kendall McCargo and Adam Berta.
Nice.
They're always grabbing those air Gregs.
But this looks like Julia to Hell. It's Julia, hell yeah, run like hell. That's a fun little sequence right there to get the party started.
Hell yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
But then they slow it down just a little bit with overtime, and Kyle Hollingsworth comes out on keys on that. I haven't listened to that yet, so I'm gonna have to listen to that one, and then wrap up the set with the Liquid, some high energy stuff to wrap up these sets. Had Avalanche first, and then the Liquid. And let's see what they did the last night at the Sound.
Yeah, a little open with The Town. A
To
little,
Henrietta.
yep. Which is I think, I caught a little bit of this one and another Henrietta that they really take. I think it was yeah, Henrietta's coming around again.
Yeah, I just listened to the Henrietta at the Portland show, and I was thinking the same thing. I think we talked about it when Ryan was here. they're going back and dusting off old songs, making
Yeah,
them
it's
undeniable.
yeah, exactly. Make it undeniable. Because then they go into which I was surprised. Was I guess I'm not surprised they did the While My Guitar Gently Weeps, but into busting out Say Cheese. I
Yeah.
figure it's really appropriate. But yeah, it's been over a year I think since they played it.
Uh, I did listen to this one and it's hilarious. Greg was like, "Fuck Feta. Our drummer is Greek. I don't give a fuck. That shit sucks or whatever." It was
Y-
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. Craft Brewing 2030 was the last time they played that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they did it twice in 2023. It's a rarity. They did a lot in 2019. Huh, interesting. But it's a lot fun. But then, Water Labyrinth, which I think Gator's really getting really into the handpan a lot. Just seeing how, I mean, he takes that shit serious. I love it, right? He just goes into a whole different zone and mode when he's on that thing,
He definitely is. He's locked in.
locked in. But then a little Horizon, and then wrap it up with just a good old Doc.
Little Doc. Let's not forget Jason Hahn on percussion from String Cheese on the Labyrinth. So it's added a little bongos on that Labyrinth there.
Bongo Bongo.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Nice. But that wraps up the 3 days they had with String Cheese on the road, and then they were back to straight
Heading
pigeons,
up
right?
north. Yep, just straight Pigeons heading up north. They go to August Hall in San Francisco. I haven't listened to this one, but they did only do one set.
But my buddy who did see his first pigeon shows on Jam Cruise and was 100% sold on pigeons at that point, went to this show and told me it did not disappoint again. He was stoked, had a really good time. So he's like, now he's trying to, maneuver time between Fish and Goose Tour to get some more pigeons in there. And I like to see that. It's not, it doesn't have to be all or none. You got to work some in. That's all you got to do.
All you gotta do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get out there
dude.
and support the boys.
Yep. So we got some Move Like That, some Twitch, which they've been playing quite frequently lately. Let's click on that and see how many times they've played that recently. They played that in Colorado at Old Town Pub, Brooklyn Bowl in February. So they've already played it 3 times this year.
I'm here for it. I don't mind it being in rotation. I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Definitely. Keep
Yeah,
it up.
this is I feel like this is like a heavy set too for one long set. I feel like if you didn't know, you'd be kind of getting into right around like the all right tonight point and being like, all right, do I run to the bathroom now or do I wait? Like, oh
Yeah.
shit. And then they just keep going through. Did they say anything? I guess if you didn't listen to it, I wonder if they said anything they were going to go through or they just straight trucked it.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really heard it yet, but the encore looks interesting. I want to listen
Yep.
to this. Treat Yourself into Ocean Flows. I really been enjoying that. Treat Yourself. Some more new music that's been fun to listen to.
Yeah. Feel like it's more Greg flexing it. He's just, I think vocally and lyrically, he's doing so good right now. So all these new songs is just giving him a chance to get out there and just do something new and fun for himself.
Yeah, I've also been noticing that he's been doing a lot more solos, a lot more chances at doing solos. So he's been, doing a little bit of the flute sound on some songs.
He's a flautist now.
Yeah, Greg is a flautist as well as, doing a couple things on All Right Tonight as well.
Yeah. Look, All Right Tonight's still ranking one of my favorite songs the Pigeons are doing at the moment. I think it really, for me, I'm a high energy song guy, so I like it when they take it to 11. And I feel like just when they start to hit the peak of that, I mean, you're just going 100 miles an hour. That song just, Gators just got that beat going and just, they basically beat you to death with it. By that time of the song, I am tired.
Yeah, especially when the band, they themselves have like a good energy going. They really, Gator pops up out of the chair and stuff and
Right.
Greg, top of his lungs.
I still remember back at Dome Fest. just being right underneath Jeremy for All Right Tonight, and it was just it was overwhelming. It was just so much. I loved it. I was just sitting there stunned for half of it. I think I was just like absolutely locked in, and just he was just raining it down on me. It was one of the coolest things. I had to go back and take a seat after that. I was like, all right, whoo, yeah.
Pigeons keep heading north up towards the Pacific Northwest. Stop at the Sierra Nevada Big Room, another one setter. But again, this place, like I said earlier, looks cool, and they're definitely
Smaller
not holding.
venue.
Yeah, definitely a smaller venue. They call it the Big Room, but it's I believe it's still inside Sierra Nevada's like brewery itself, so it's not that big.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Sierra, if you've never been to a Sierra, I've been to the Sierra Nevada Brewery in Asheville, and that one is pretty amazing. So I imagine that their flagship brewery in Chico is pretty amazing as well. Great
Yeah.
food if you're ever to go there.
I learned something recently that they're one of the few still independently owned like large breweries in the U.S. for
Yeah,
their
they're
size.
still family owned, I believe.
Yep. Yep, they made a partnership with Riot Energy Drinks to work with them and support them, and I knew the owners of that company, so it was like a cool like to learn the story. It was like awesome. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Sierra Nevada beer, so it was also kind of cool to learn that they're not corporate assholes. They're actually pretty decent operating companies. So cheers, Sierra Nevada.
Well, I mean, they're definitely supportive of good music. So you got pigeons coming through,
Hell
and
yeah,
yeah, I was drinking some torpedoes last night at Sam
nice.
Bush, who came through Woodlands Tavern, so that was fun.
How was it was a good show.
Yeah, really good show. They have like super professional band, ultra great musicians, sound and everything like that. Big tour bus actually and everything for that band, but the sound was so good that it was like almost soft. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was like soft but loud at the same time, so it wasn't like overwhelming, but I felt like they could have just turned it up a little bit more.
Hmm.
Would have enjoyed it a little bit.
Nice, nice. On Friday, I went and checked out Dave Attell, a little stand-up comedy live. If you're not familiar, Dave Attell's a legend. It was kind of cool to see him. He's getting older now too, but this guy's still like super sharp. It was it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go actually this Friday. I'm going to go see Dan Soder live. So it's just kind of a back-to-back weekends of stand-up comedy, and I might go see the Heat tomorrow night. They're playing Washington, so I'm trying to squeeze some events in. It feels like my schedule is filling up quickly.
Yeah, summer's gonna be coming here soon.
Yeah, definitely looking forward. I think we made the decision yesterday where we're going to send it for all good. Just like I was like, it's only 3 hours from here. What? Why the hell wouldn't I just do that? Um, yeah, we might be also setting up a contest on Funk and Good for some giveaways for All Good. Maybe even Dome Fest. Be on the lookout for that as well. Um, Trying to get some fun stuff set up for the summer. I think it's going to be a good one.
But nothing too crazy at this Sierra Nevada show, just to live life, you know, nothing too crazy. A
Well,
Skinner.
hold on. Let's not walk past this Skinner abracadabra for a second. Don't you just skip past this one. It's been when's the last time they played abracadabra? Yeah, so 2023. So that's quite a while ago. And I've been just jonesing for a drunk people abracadabra. At one of my first shows, or like early on, they played it at the Ram's Head, and it was just one of my favorite things they did for the longest time. Um, I love an abracadabra cover; they do it so good. But hearing it sandwiched in Skinner was the interesting choice. I definitely need to go have a good listen to that one because I saw that and I've been just, yeah, that reminds me of that. That's the big one of the night. But Skipjack, Eleanor Rigby, I love one of those, and probably a turned up Fun and Funk. So yeah, that's it's some definite fun stuff they did up at the Sierra Nevada room, big room.
Yeah. Then they head over to Idaho to the Knitting Factory, another one set show. It's still looking fun. They open with the town,
The
nice town
town.
opener.
Yep.
Oh. And I think they played that 3 times this whole tour.
Yeah. Well, at least twice as opener.
4
They,
times. They did it 4
oh,
times this tour. I thought it was familiar. Yeah, so they did it in Old Town Pub, uh, Salt Lake City in Utah, Del Mar, The Sound, and then the Knitting Factory. I think that's the one they played the most. Probably this. They probably played Porcupine, Melting Lights, and The Town. Sorry, the most. This little tour. Yeah, let's see how many times they did Melting Lights because they also did it in this show. They did Melting Lights 5 times. They did it in Boulder 5 times. Yep, on the West Coast. Not taking away from it or anything like that, but just saying.
no, it's definitely in rotation. But besides that, there's a pretty good mix there.
I
You
did
know that
listen to this show, and I do believe that Greg says that they took a request to play Bloodshot Rose, which they never
really
do. Yeah, and the Bloodshot Rose is very nice. It's very psychedelic.
nice.
It, Ben's playing some funky noises and stuff like that. Uh, and then it goes also into Avalanche, but I skipped right past the Elefante. I didn't want to listen to any of
Shots fired.
that. I don't want to listen to it. Sorry.
It's all good. Uh look, I look the day and time encore. Is it's again. I said this a million times on here. It's my favorite. Just encore as a standalone song. It's got it's got all the elements to it. Definitely a good way to end the show on a real big high.
Yeah.
You've
Then they
got
had
that
head.
feeling.
Yeah, dude, I love it. Then they head over to the Neptune Theater in Seattle, which I feel like they're always throwing down at. I haven't listened to the whole thing, just some a little bit of the highlights. I was listening to it today actually, but back to 2 sets and in the bubble opener into something for you, feed the fire, and then times like these, some Foo Fighters. So that was cool, little mid set pop off. Undivided, hadn't heard that one in a while. That bad boy. When's the last time they played that?
It's been 4 or 5 months.
Atlantis.
Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
not too bad. Undivided. The set two is pretty heavy hitting from Up Funk Poseidon one more time, doing that again, but then Beneath the Surface. I mean, basically they just jam from one to the other. There doesn't seem like there's much stopping in between there until you get to Horizon. But high as
Yeah.
five into Miyagi. That's Beneath the Surface. High as five Miyagi is a good way to walk into a Horizon. And I'm gonna
This
guess
whole
Jeremy
second
did
set,
a 47-minute Horizon intro. I'm assuming.
I hadn't got there yet, but yeah, the this whole second set is amazing. The up funk, fire. Uh, you have the dudes from one of the dudes, Ari, as Greg calls him,
Hello, Ari.
comes to the yeah, and they are from Scotland, the UK. Those guys, so confirmed on that
When
one.
I was in London, there was a trade show booth that was like across from us, and they were Scottish. And I swear to God, I couldn't understand a damn word they were saying when they were talking to me. And I was doing a lot of like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Uh-huh. Uh-huh." Just I'm like trying so hard, guys. I'm not picking any of this up.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how like we technically speak the same language, but
We don't
kind of
speak the
not.
same language at the same time either. Oh my God. It was hilarious. They were the nicest people. It was just, it was me, not them.
Yeah. But this high as five, Miyagi, Horizon. Hadn't listened to the Horizon yet. I actually skipped ahead to listen to Walk Outside because I hadn't really seen a Walk Outside in that position, I guess, or experienced a Walk Outside encore.
Yeah, it's they've done it a couple times. I feel like I've seen one or two. I think.
Maybe. I don't know.
But look, the way the Horizon intros have been going. I really want to start campaigning that that's going to be its own song on the set list. It'll be like Horizon intro into Horizon because it's becoming a song unto itself. It's beyond just the intro. I've watched it kind of develop over time, where it used to just be a really short one, and then all of a sudden now it's Gators doing do 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 do. They're doing this big build, and they just keep carrying it on. It's like, all right, well, when you're getting in like the 4 and 5 minute range, it's a song. Just saying.
No, I'm here for it. I could do it. Because if you don't want to listen to the whole intro, you can skip past that nuts too.
I was gonna skip past that, dude. It's the sickest.
But yeah, after the Seattle, they head to Portland and open with this Henrietta that I was talking about earlier. Nice little Henrietta. King Kong. Hell yeah, again. Shine on you, crazy diamond, Rocket Man. I know you enjoy nice Rocket Man.
I love a good Rocket Man. It just brings me back to New Year's in Asheville when they first played it. You know, that was some of the most. It was just because it was so crazy. Everyone, see when we were doing like when we're doing Walking on the Moon, everyone in the crowd's doing like this like anti-gravity looking walk. No one said to do that. Everyone just kind of felt like it was the right thing to do at the time. Um, yeah, so that's always super fun. But I haven't had a chance to listen to the Not Who You Are. Have you checked that one out yet?
Yeah, a couple times. It was stuck in my head this morning,
Nice.
actually. Not who you are. It's a good one, dude. It's kind of slowed down. I was thinking more of like some yacht rock type stuff vibe to it. Ben's got a nice little bass line to it. You should definitely
Nice.
check that out. If that's one of the first ones you check out, definitely check out Not Who
Yeah,
You Are.
that might be the next thing I do when we're done doing this.
Even Greg's does like a high pitch, like I could just see him like,
Nah.
bro. Yeah, that's good. I can't
Love
do
it.
it justice. But yeah, Greg was definitely going off. And then he goes into Melting Lights after that. Another Melting Lights. And then they wrapped up that first set with Offshoot.
Strong finisher.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Pacific Northwest are good sets of shows. They're wrapping up their sets. I know they all enjoy that area. It's hard not to enjoy that area. I've
It's
been up there.
beautiful.
Yeah. Portland was cool. Seattle was awesome. I spent a birthday weekend there. Not a weekend,
Nice.
about a week during COVID or something like that. I forget when it was.
I've been up there a few times, but never like caught shows up there. I was there for work or some other reason, so never got to check out the venues. But I definitely want to make it up there sometime for some music.
Yeah, definitely. I think the next car that I get is a right-hand drive Toyota type car imported with like 20,000 miles on it.
You're gonna import a right-hand drive?
No, so that what happens is after 25 years, you can get a car that was made in a different country, not necessarily made for the United States, because if it's made in a different country without the regulations in the United States, it can't be sold here until 25 years later. So you get these cars in Japan that are like, they don't put any mileage on them in Japan because it's not that big of a place to be driving around. So they import these practically brand new 90s cars that are right hand drive, all Japanese and everything, to the West Coast or like Virginia or something like that. And you can get them for great prices and they'll last for freaking ever. So that's what I'm going to do. My next car is going to get some type of Toyota Camry with like 20,000 miles on it from the 90s and then
I remember
drive.
when I was living in Australia, I was trying to. My friend said the woman drive her car, and it was a manual. She's like, "You can drive stick shift, right?" I'm like, "Of course I can," but I get in, it's a right hand drive. Suddenly, you're shifting. Like your brain doesn't quite like compute because it's still your left foot is the clutch, but then your right hand's doing the shifting, and you're not. I'm used to doing it all this way, not this way. I looked really embarrassing. It was it was like telling a girl you can drive stick and then you clearly can't.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, womp womp. That's funny. But
But anyways, set two, nice my own way. Still polishing that bad boy off into a time to ride drums labyrinth. So Gator going off set two in Portland. And I haven't listened to the second set yet. I haven't listened to the first set. But yeah, we said earlier they end this show with a suck my.
But I almost feel like Julia, Sunny Day, Ocean Flows is like an irresponsible three songs to play in a row. It's so aggressive. Like, I mean, you're just gonna be getting over the hit from Julia, and then just ripping into Sunny Day, and then just like, all right, we're just gonna go full send and just play Ocean Flows. That is super, just all gas, no brakes way to close the second set. It's aggressive. I mean, I'm
It
here
is,
for
but
it, but it's
it's
definitely aggressive.
cool, actually looking at it. 'Cause, yeah, that is pretty sweet. I'm gonna have to listen to that right after the show. I'm
Well,
probably
we
gonna
got some
listen.
homework to do.
I do. We definitely do. I mean, we were saying that at the beginning. I haven't really caught up to everything. I've been bouncing around here and there because they've been releasing them so quickly, and that's been awesome. I'm not saying I'm mad about it or anything at all. I love having so much music that I can't even catch up to it. So thank you, Dylan Hines, on that. And Greg does a big shout out for like the crew a bunch of times in the show. So we might as well do a shout out for him too. I think it was Dylan's 2 year anniversary. We
Nice.
and Ada, the merch ladies' 2 year anniversary as well. So
Always tip for the party fund.
yeah, I didn't realize how many times they well, not how many times, how long they've been there. It's been 2 years already, so that's awesome.
It's great. Look, it just goes to show they're taking care of their people. They're they're working well together. It's smooth running machine. Even like it's always interesting. Even like when we've seen some of their recent tech difficulties, right, and just seeing how the band is just able to work together to compensate. Right, nothing can stop them. It's just a matter of just working together and then just understand what's got to get done. So yeah, I think the whole band and crew is locked in. I mean, everybody seems to be pretty tight. Did I hear though from a tech issue that Greg's no longer plugging in his guitar?
So
Did I hear
he's
that?
been wireless for a while. I don't know what that was
He
about.
wasn't wireless in Philly.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't.
Mhm.
But I think he was. Dylan said that he's been wireless in
Okay.
that post. He responded, so I'll go with whatever he says. Apparently, I
Yeah.
thought I was
So
wrong. But yeah, this set another Porcupine opener. Fall in place. Water. Right track. Too long. Overtime. They they did Three Pigs Have a Cigar is how they wrote it on Nugs actually. So they did three.
wait, why is fantasy there? That was like they hadn't played that in a while,
Yeah, it's a
but
bust out.
big bust out. But when I look at how many times played, it's only saying three times played. I know that's not true because they debuted it at Dome Fest. Anyway, I was excited to see it. That song it was one of my favorites when I first moved down to Florida. I was just cruising around, listening to that. It was good to see them bust that back out. I feel like it hasn't been in rotation as much as it should be for as good a song as it is. I mean, Ben's bass line on it is sick. Bump, 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 boom, bump, 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 bump. It's just like it's the sweetest groove, dude. I want more of it. Definitely gotta keep that thing more in rotation.
I know, man. And you just when they do these bust outs of newer music, you forget how much newer music they have, and you're like, all right, I guess don't play Melting Lights 5 times. You got all this new music that you can play, but whatever. Definitely not mad when I hear Melting Lights. I'm just saying, you got the new music. Take that stuff for a little bit of a walk, I guess.
Yeah. Or maybe it's been like, I don't know, 1,300 days or something since they played Stay. They could just maybe dust that off the shelf. It's getting pretty damn dusty, if you ask me. You get the white glove out, and it's going to be black. It's just, come on, guys. Something, play Stay. I don't know. I'm going to have to make a damn sign if you guys keep pushing me. Look out, Liam. Me pushing next to you on the rail with my Stay sign. Stand by.
Get some
Get
elbow
get
room
some
up there.
Elmas in there. Watch out, Tony. Ashley, I'm coming.
I'm coming for you. Yeah, but then this was a one set show. Missoula, Montana. They wrap up their tour at the Wilma, and they had all of High Fade come out for the encore. And they were really just laying down, having fun. You can tell that they had a good time with these guys. They took a like group picture with the crew and all of their guys and stuff, and posted about how much fun they had. So we'll probably end up seeing High Fade a little bit more, especially probably with some Pigeons here coming up soon down the
Nice.
pipe.
Yeah, it seems like they did well, and then everyone that I saw went to the show had good reviews of them. So yeah, I think it'd be good to see some more of that.
I know when they came through Columbus, it was on a Wednesday night. I wasn't able to see them, so I was kind of disappointed on that. And Squeaky Feet is coming through here, and it's on a Thursday, and I'm not able to get to it either. So missing all these Pigeons tour openers coming through. But speaking of tour, let's go ahead and go through their tour. They're off currently until April 10th, where they get to go down to Florida for their first festival of the season at the Sunshine Get Down in Brooksville, Florida. And they head back up north the end of April, do their Midwest tour in Cleveland on the 24th with Sneezy, the Vic Theater in Chicago on the 25th, also with Sneezy, who's going to be opening up this entire tour with them. Going to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan on the 26th. The Burl, an outdoor show, April 27th in Lexington. And then the guys are off until May, early May, where they head down to Cabo, Mexico for the Viva El Ganzo Goose Festival. Then they have a little show in North Carolina, just outside Asheville in Black Mountain, North Carolina, at the Pisgah Brewing Company with Natalie Brooke. The Infinity, no, it's not the Infinity Tribe, I don't think, but Natalie Brooke and her band. And then Pigeons don't have any dates currently from the 16th of May until they team up with the infamous String Dusters and Melt for May 29th, 30th, 31st, and June 1st and 2nd in the Northeast, starting in Hampton, New Hampshire, Asbury Park, Lafayette, New York, Westport, Connecticut, South Deerfield, Massachusetts, the Treehouse Brewing Company. That looks cool. What day is June 2nd? May, June 2nd? That's a Monday? I don't.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Dang. Be a lot cooler if it wasn't. But
Yeah.
anyway, they're
Nothing
going
like a good
to,
Monday night show. Ugh.
yeah, they got All Good Music Festival. Colin mentioned he's going to that, so that's cool. And then this new music announcement, Flooded City Music Festival, which is $65 for 2 days of music, headlined by Pigeons and Government Mule. Pigeons is actually headlining Friday night, doing a 120-minute show. So that's two sets that they're locked in for. Boom. So if you're able to go to that, that's just east of Pittsburgh, I think an hour east of Pittsburgh in Johnstown, PA. And Dogs in a Pile and Andy Frasco are going to be there as well. And they have three more dates announced right now. They got the Great South Bay Music Festival in New York on July 26th, Dome Fest August 7th through the 9th, and Bristol Rhythm and Roots Reunion in Bristol, Tennessee on September 19th through the 21st.
And I think we should be getting some announcements about vending and stuff for Dome Fest here any day now, right? It's coming up, I think, the first or third, or what was I hearing?
Uh, it is the 6th.
Six. All right. Counting down.
Yeah. So when they're announcing, yeah, other than that, that's all that's going on for us in the pigeon world. You got anything else to add, Colin?
No, no. Look, just glad we got to kind of go through. I got some homework now. I got some West Coast states to tune into, some new music to listen to. I think the rest of my Sunday is gonna be pretty chill. Listening to Pigeons.
Yeah, I'll be working on some tie dyes listening to Pigeons.
Nice. All right, Jake. Well, it's been real, buddy, and I'll see you next time.
See ya, dude.
Later.